Okay, so this is the 2025 Toronto Grand Prix Women's 200 meter backstroke Heat 1. We are looking at Lavinia Ricca in lane 2 here. Let's watch the race and then we'll do an analysis briefly. Okie dokie, let's come right back to the start. Taking a look for what we can for what are, well, this is unfortunate. Completely can't see what the angle of your legs are. Worth saying that we are trying to look for something approaching an acute angle, or not an acute angle, a right angle on the back of the knee, so that we can get into a full pushing position. I do like how high up you are. Okay, so let's see what we can see for the start. Let's see what the angle looks like. Liking that. I'd like to get these feet off and out of the water. These are anchors holding us down. You are clearly flexible enough based on that body position that we're not worried about the arch. Let's take a look at lane 2 here. You know, she's not as flexible as you are, at least in this moment. You're very flexible. Let's use that flexibility to our advantage. Instead of driving so far back and, you know, anchoring ourselves to the water with these legs, let's try and jump up and out of the water. If I had something in the way of you, something hard that you wouldn't want to run into, you know, just sitting behind your back here at the start, I'd want you to clear that without hurting yourself. Ankle biters though, right there, okay? Otherwise, pretty smooth entry despite that. And something I definitely noticed in the recording, very nice underwater. Great range of motion going on kind of consistently throughout it. Maybe approaching a little bit big, whereas we could go for maybe a bit faster cadence. I wouldn't want it to be much smaller if we could get that cadence of kick up. And in an ideal world, same size but faster. That'd be even sweeter. That was a great underwater. I think at least on the third turn, it was a bit short of an underwater. So let's see how this turn looks, distance-wise. You know, you've just passed 5, 6, 7. You know, pretty darn good, like that. That's a good distance, maybe even fight for farther, right? You've got a good size of kick. Let's really lean in on that. Something else I noticed, and we can kind of see it here. I'm going to guess that you're right-handed on this, right side dominant at least, because if we can, a little hard to see here, but you know, your shoulder is sitting right there. Your other shoulder is here. We can check out that angle. You're digging deep on the right side. And okay, well, you know what? Okay, I think we can appreciate that that is not the same angle, right? This is a much flatter angle on the left arm. You're not digging nearly as deep on that left. You're almost getting for what it's worth, you're almost getting horizontal, not horizontal, vertical on this angle, okay? And we're much closer to horizontal on this angle. So thinking about that left arm, thinking about digging deep, you know, having a symmetric stroke. You know, it's not the end all be all by any means, but it is good, and it's a good sign that we're utilizing the strength that we have throughout our body, not just the strength that we have on the side of our body that we prefer. Something else to consider, it's looking like a little bit of a slow stroke rate throughout this 200 backstroke. I'd love to see slightly higher stroke rate. You know, even, you know, there's that great size of kick, maybe a little bit smaller, maybe it's a bit too big, but the size of kick, if it was at a faster cadence, would be awesome. But the cadence of this stroke, I always advocate we want to look long, strong, and easy. But that last term, you know, easy only goes so far. This looks maybe a little too easy to me, right? We still want to be, you know, I mean, it isn't why the woman over here in lane 6 is beating you. But look at her stroke. Even that's a bit of a slow stroke rate, but there's just a bit more energy, a bit more zest on it that I'd like to see. This is just looking a little too soft and easy. Last kick, let's see if I was making something up about the distance on that. I don't think I was. We can see the difference even between this turn, the last turn, and the turn before it, and especially the start, that you're only getting, you know, let's assume you're sitting here, right, a couple of these out, you know, a couple sets of the white and blues. How many meters is that? Based on where your feet are, it's maybe 2-3 meters past the 5, so you're at maybe approaching that 8-meter mark. Your underwater looked good to me. I think something you want to get better at is getting that kick to be even more deadly, and if we're going to lean in hard on that potential, let's make sure we lean in hard on taking the tactical advantage of a good kick and extending that advantage as long as we possibly can. The way to win a race is to swim more meters of the race at a faster speed. If we can get your underwater really, really fast, like let's swim as much of the race at that underwater fast as we can. You can see that I think you're really driving, you're beginning to drive in there, but it's still not quite the stroke rate that we'd be looking for, right? You're very strong in the water. You're very long in the water. Good touch. Good awareness of where the wall was there. But a little bit of extra zest on that stroke rate, I think, is going to do you well. I don't think that you are strong enough. There's no issue with you holding water. You're not slipping in this stroke or anything like that. You know, great hold. So if we're good at something, let's shore up our defenses on something that we're not as good at, and let's get that stroke rate to be a bit of a part of the focus. But very confident looking swim. Nice.